students, welcome back to physics class. So today I'll be starting with the next chapter, which is chapter number 3, which is force and pressure. So first of all, we will be dealing with the topic force of this chapter, and we will be covering this turning effect of force. This is a new topic for you. Let's talk in detail about this. First of all, let's get clear with the name of the topic. Turning effect of force. That means a force will be applied and there will be a turning effect in that object. So let's first of all deal with the second name of this. Turning effect of force is also known as moment of force. So let's deal with the definition now. Turning effect of a single force about a fixed point is called moment. That means the object where we are going to apply the force, it should be fixed somewhere and we have to apply a single force. Now if you find this definition difficult to understand, let's deal with this practically. Let's take the example of your door. Like in your room, you will be having a door. You know that the door is attached to its one end with the help of hinges, and its other end is having the handle from where we hold the door and we move it around. So this is actually a moment only. Now see, turning effect of a single force about a fixed point. Your door is fixed at a point, obviously at the corner. You are applying a single force, that means the handle where you are actually holding the door, there you are applying the force, and it is creating a turning effect. Your door, please notice it, it's moving in a round motion, it's creating a turning effect. So the turning effect of a single force about a fixed point, this total action which is taking place is known as your moment. And how it was created? Because of the force applied. Now, moment depends on two factors. So, when we are talking about this topic, just keep in this door example in your mind. So, moment is depending on two factors. Let's deal with the example of door. So, when you are opening the door, how fast or how easy it is going to move, that depends on the amount of force you are applying on it, which you are applying on the handle. And the second is where you are applying the force from the fixed point. That means your door was attached at one corner, and how much is the distance from that point to that point where you are applying the force. On these two factors your moment depends. Let me draw a diagram to make it very clear for you. Suppose this is the door of your room. Here it is attached with the help of hinges to one end, and here is the handle. So where you are applying the force, we are going to see the perpendicular distance, how far the handle is actually attached from the door. And you must have noticed, if you are going to apply the force from somewhere in the central part of the door, it is very difficult to close, actually to make any movement in the door. And you must have seen this, that whenever we are applying that force on the corner, on the extreme corner, that movement is very easy. And for this reason only, the carpenters are attaching the handles of the door to a very close end. For this reason only, so that the movement of the door becomes easy. Now, moment was depending on two things, force and perpendicular distance. So we have made the formula also out of it. Moment is force multiplied by distance. Now let's talk about the unit of it. I have already told you in the previous classes also, once you know the formula, creating the unit is very easy. Force unit is Newton, distance unit is meter. Since they both were in product form, so the unit will also be in product form, and the unit becomes Newton meter. So Newton meter is the unit of moment, or you call it moment of force. It means the same. Now let's talk about torque. When we were talking about moment, here we had the discussion of a single force. Here one thing is going to change, and that is, here I am going to talk about a pair of force. That means two forces will be acting this time, but in different direction. So when a pair, that means two forces of equal size, are acting and they are producing some action, that is known as the couple. Listen to it one more time. A pair of equal sized turning forces acting in different direction is called couple, and this couple, when it creates the turning effect, that is known as torque. You must be knowing this word somewhere when we are talking about the vehicles. You must have heard the car is producing that much torque, the bike is able to give that much of the torque action. So here this torque is actually how much powerful that vehicle is, how fast actually it can go and produce the turning effect. Now let's move ahead. This topic will come in detail in the senior classes. Here we are having only its definition, and I hope it's clear to you now. Next are the numericals based on the moment of force. Moment formula is force multiplied by distance, and students, you are getting out of these three quantities, two will be given in the question and you can calculate the moment. For example, the question is given that the force of 20 Newton is applied at a distance of 5 meter, then what is the moment? Just multiply both the quantities. 20 into 5 will become 100, and unit, as I told you, it will be Newton meter. So moment will come 100 Newton meter. So there are very easy examples based on the moment. I hope you will be able to solve them. Now let's move to the topic which is your pressure, which will be actually covered in detail in this chapter. Imagine you are having a tub in which you are having wet sand in which some water is mixed, and you are having a wooden structure of this shape. On one side it is broad and on the other side it is little smaller. So one I have placed with its broad section down, and one I have placed with its narrow section down. Broad section is up, narrow section is down, and they both were fixed in this wet sand. Now when I am going to place 1 kg weight and 1 kg weight on both the things, I am noticing one thing, that this wooden block is going deep inside the sand. Shifting was there in this also, but we are observing that this particular wooden block is going down in the sand. You must have done this similar type of activities, maybe you must have done it. So here we are going to talk now that what is actually the logic behind it. Notice the areas of the base. Here the base area was broad, and here the base area was very less. The lesser the area, the more easily a body can go deep inside that object. Let's take a very easy example of an iron nail. Have you seen the iron nails? They are always very pointed at one end. For this reason only, because the lesser the area, the easier it is to shift that nail inside the wall. I hope you have understood this activity, that what actually they are trying to prove in it. The lesser the area, the easier it is to penetrate inside the sand. Now students, let's talk about pressure and its definition. Thrust acting per unit area. Thrust is nothing special, it is actually the other name of force. Force acting per unit area is known as pressure. Now I have already told you, whenever this word per comes, that means the unit which is written after it will be going in the denominator. So we have made the formula also out of the definition. Pressure is force acting per unit area. So because of this word per, area will go down, and this is the formula which we have created for pressure. I hope this time if I tell you that you have to calculate the unit of pressure, you will be able to do it. force is measured in Newton, area is measured in meter square, so pressure unit will become Newton upon meter square, or you write down Newton per meter square by putting a slash. And since this quantity of pressure was actually a concept given by the scientist Blaise Pascal, so to honor him, we are having his name also as its unit. So pressure unit is Pascal also and Newton per meter square. But the SI unit, that means the standard one, is Newton per meter square. This was just to give honor to him. Now here is a factor which is coming, proportionality. Very easy concept. Just now we made the formula of pressure, which is force upon area. Now we are going to deal with that if suppose I am changing the force, if I am changing the area, then how the pressure will be actually affected. Remember students, if there is any formula and it is having something in the numerator part, so they both are directly related. That means if force will rise, pressure will also rise. If force will be low, pressure is also low. But if you are having in that formula something written in the denominator, so these both things are actually having opposite relation. If area is high, pressure will be low. If area is low, pressure will be high. So when the things are directly related, they are dependent also directly. Force high, pressure high, force low, pressure low. But if the quantities are inversely related, so this is known as inverse proportionality. Area high, pressure low, area low, pressure high. So these both are inversely related. And the actual word is inverse proportionality. But you can also use this word that they are inversely related. Now let's see that how this pressure, force and area are actually affecting our daily life. Children, have you seen the camels? They are very like thin, they are having thin legs, but the foot area is very broad. And you must be knowing that the camels are known as the ship of the sand. Have you ever tried to walk in the sand? It's very difficult to walk in it. The moment we step in the sand, our legs are penetrating inside the sand. And how easily the camels are actually able to walk is because the area of their foot is large. Now what is the advantage of having bigger foot area? If area will be high, so pressure will be low on the sand. So their feet are not penetrating inside the sand. So that's why they are easily able to walk. Similarly, if you talk, we can also have the example of elephants also. Elephants too have, even if their body weight is higher, here we are not talking about the body weight, here we are talking about the thing that is coming in contact with the sand, which is actually the foot of elephant. That is also very broad. So broader the area, less is the pressure. So the elephants are also able to walk in the sand quite easily, no problem. Now let's talk about the tire example. You must have seen that there are trucks, the front tires are 2, but at the back they are having a lot of tires behind them. And the reason is, see, if this is, please don't go on the drawing, it's very poor, I know. Please try to understand the concept. The engine of the truck is in front, but the truck is carrying the load behind. That means if it is carrying cars or if it is carrying bricks, whatever it is carrying, the load is behind. That means the actual force is acting on the rear part of the truck. So if the force is very high, there will be a lot of pressure on the roads, and the tires might go inside the roads or they might damage the roads. So to protect them, what are we having? The tires are created in such a way that they are having a lot of tires at the rear part. And what is the advantage? To increase the area. If only imagine a single tire was there, so it won't be able to manage the weight and it will be damaging the roads also. So we are having a lot many tires behind, so that when the area will be increased, the pressure will be low on the roads, and hence you can save your roads from sinking. And the other reason for having more number of tires is one more. It's only not the roads that we are going to protect. We need to protect the machine also. You can't damage your vehicle. So if the truck is carrying a lot of weight in it, so to protect it, we have to increase the number of tires also. Otherwise, the axle can get damaged. Now, it's not only the case only in the trucks. You must have seen the army tanks also, or you must have seen the trucks which are carrying the vehicles inside. Suppose if the company is manufacturing a car, let's take Maruti Suzuki example. Maruti company is there in your area. It's manufacturing the cars. So when the product is ready, when the cars need to be shifted from one place to another, there are those big size, monster size trucks which we are using. So those tires also are having a lot many tires. Sometimes they are even having 48 tires also. So the reason is very, very clear. Even if they are going in a soft ground area also, still they won't be sinking inside the ground. Now let's talk further. You must have seen the skiers also. So when those people are going for skiing on the snow, so when you are skiing on the snow, your purpose is to glide on the snow. You don't want to sink inside the snow. So if you want to put less pressure on the snow because you have to glide on it, so what is your purpose? Let's get back to the formula. Pressure is force upon area. You don't want to put the pressure on the snow, so you need to increase the area. So what we did, the skis which are made, they are flat and they are very, very long. So the reason is, if the area will be increased, so when the person will be skiing, because of the large area, they will be putting very less pressure on the snow, and it's very easy to glide on the snow. Same is the case with sledges also. So sledges which are being run actually with the help of dogs. So those people, those who are living in the areas where maximum of the time they are having the snowfall in their area, they can't use the normal vehicles like us. So sledges are used, and sledges are also very similar to the type of structure skis are having. They are also very flat and long at the bottom, so that they don't put pressure on the snow and you can easily glide. Similar is the reason whenever any high-rise building has to be constructed. Like let's take the example of Burj Khalifa. So you must have seen that the Burj Khalifa area is very broad at the bottom and it's going tapered like this. So the reason for making that broad area was same only. If that structure would have been long and the base was not thick, so it would have exerted a lot of pressure on the ground, and the building might have gone inside the ground because of the huge force which the building is applying. So what is the clear reason? Increase the base area. If the base area will be broad, area will be high, so pressure will be low, and your ground will be able to manage the weight of that huge structure which you are going to construct. So whenever high-rise buildings are constructed, their base areas are always broad. The next example that we can discuss is of the knife. Knives, board pin, nails, you must have seen that they all are having very fine or very less area at the tip. Knife, it is having a very fine edge from where you actually cut it. Same reason. Area less, so pressure will be high, so the fruits or vegetables can be sliced very easily. Similarly with this tack pin also, you must have seen these type of board pins. Whenever you have to attach any chart paper or something on the board, we use these pins. So these pins are also having broad area at the back, because here you have to hold it and apply the force with the help of your thumb, and the other area which has to penetrate inside the wall is very thin. For this reason only, thin area will apply a lot of pressure, so it can be inserted easily, and this back area is having higher area so that it does not harm your thumb. So with this we are coming to an end Students, there are few numericals which you can try, which are very easy. Only one formula we are going to work upon, which is pressure is equal to force upon area, and all the numericals are based on that. Please solve the objective part also, and if you are having any problem, kindly ask me in the comment box. I'll reply over there, and try these numericals also. Thank you.